And we're live. Welcome everyone. Welcome to episode number 4 of the Sports Nut Project. And we're now guesting the... Paano ba yung official title mo, Ping? Ang haba nito eh. Basahin ko baka magkamali ako eh. It's the...
Sure.
It's the chairman of the Ultimate Frisbee Committee as well as the Auditor and Advisor to the Asia-Oceania Flying Disc Federation. Yun, medyo mouthful. Tama ba?
Yeah,
And
you got it right.
on top of that, siya rin yung founder ng JMJ Sports Events Services. Is that correct?
JMJ Sports Training Services.
So ayan. Thank you for accepting our invite, Ping. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So ayan. So si Ping, actually si Ping medyo matagal na kami magkakilala nito since 2004, no? Ping, I believe.
Yeah.
2004.
Yep, 2000. Mm-hmm.
So ayan. So catching up lang. So how are you doing during this whole quarantine period?
Well, like everybody else, we're staying indoors, trying to be safe. There is literally no ultimate happening for the next couple of months. We're looking at probably a foreclosure for the entire year. It sucks, but again, we have to be safe. We have to be ready for that. However, that doesn't mean that associations and organizations and organizers are not getting ready and mapping out events to come. So again, that's not just for Ultimate. That's for other disc practices. There's a lot of other disc practices out there that you guys might be interested in doing, and that are non-contact, and at the same time practice proper social distancing. So we're just trying to keep up with the times. Hindi siya ultimate. Wala tayo sa beach, wala tayo with our friends, but we can find a way to fill that void, that big void.
Yeah. So, for those who na hindi close kay Ping, hindi siya friend sa Facebook, yung mga anak ni Ping are the cutest 4 bundles of joy na makikita nyo. Grabe. If you're gonna be quarantined with kids, perfect tong kids na to, itong 4. Especially yung last post, ano yun, yung mommy magnet na ginawa nila kaya parang
that happens every week, every day. Yeah. So that's. Are you sure about that statement? Because anybody with kids now know that. But it is a blessing.
Yeah.
They love having it there.
Pero may mga times kasi mukhang gusto mo lang to sit back, relax. Sabi nga ni Gila, yung wife ni Ping, parang may mga times gusto mo lang maglaro or just manood ng something sa video sa phone mo, biglang here comes these 4 monsters, bigla na lang i-attack ka, diba?
Yeah. And again, it's like that. But then, it is a blessing. We're very happy to have that.
Yeah.
Kaya may ultimate.
Take advantage of it kasi mabilis. Time flies by so fast before you know it. Ang lalaki na niya mga yan. Pasaway na rin yan, parang tayo nung bata.
Hanggang na yan, pasaway naman, di ba?
Ayun. For those who don't know, Ping is married to a famous awardee na actress in Miss Gila Alvarez. Nanonood ba si Gila? Si Gila nga pala.
Wow. She's in the other room putting the kids to sleep, but she will be watching with the rest of our teammates later.
So yung
she will be watching.
Yung last movie niya, 'di ba, yung Quaresma? Tama ba?
Yes.
Was that the last one? We watched that. Me and Hirsch watched that. Parang it's okay siya doon, 'di ba? Kaya lang yung role niya, parang it sort of put things into perspective for us na yung mga ka-age namin are playing roles na mga yun talagang medyo kasi doon sa role niya doon, medyo may edad na siya, 'di ba? She was supposed to be this creepy old lady na ano ba yung ginagawa niya doon? Parang warn niya. She was warning somebody.
She's a parang parang hindi mentalist. Anong tawag doon? Parang ghost whisperer.
Parang gano'n,
telepath or something.
Sabi nga
But then, she Pero she played that character as if it was Gila.
Yeah.
Spoilers for anybody that hasn't seen the movie, but if you watch the movie and you've met my wife, if you met Gila, it's probably the same person. It's the same character.
Sige, tanungin.
Didn't break a sweat in the role. But that happened. She did that last year, and it was a lot of fun for her. And it was actually she shot that during Christmas break and into the first couple of weeks of January, para lang to meet the deadline in April. So it was a lot of fun. It was a fun experience for her, and
Ikaw, kamusta naman yung showbiz career mo?
Wow.
People have, 'di ba? Palagi kang pinagkakamalang si ano?
Yung mga kapatid ko yon, tsaka tatay ko yung busy sa show business.
Yung mga Eigenman, no?
Yeah.
Ano yung story dun sa yung sa Toll Plaza? Sino ba nagkwento? Ikaw ba o si Gila?
Oh, yeah. No, that was Gila. So Gila was on her way to work, and she forgot her wallet, or she had no money to pay for the toll. And what ended up happening was she told the policeman, I'll come back, I'll pay for it, I'll go for it. Hindi, kailangan niyo iwanan yung lisensya niyo dito sa toll. Sabi ko, sige, I'll leave my ID. And then my husband will pay. He'll come and pay. So I drive there, and I will roll down the window. I talk to the guard. And he goes, "Sir, kung alam ko lang na asawa niyo yun, papadaanan ko na lang siya. No problem." So I was like, shit. Pahelo na lang sa tatay niyo. It's like, oh my God. So it has its perks.
That is perks,
yeah. But then that's a funny thing. I know. Again, it's if you don't know already, people think I'm Elvis Gutierrez. I know Elvis. Like I used to play basketball with Elvis in Alabang. So I know Elvis. It's like hindi ko kumukha yan. Hindi ko siya kumukha.
Medyo malayo yun.
Yeah.
I agree.
But that's one of a lot of misinterpretation. So who people think I am. But, it's just me. I'm the frisbee guy. I'm that guy that plays frisbee.
Could be a lot worse naman, Ping, diba? At least pogi yung pinagkakamalan sa'yo. Could be a lot worse.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes. I agree.
So, for si Ping kasi, di ba naalala mo when we first met? Saan ba tayo first nag-meet? Sa field na ba o yung sa Boracay? Naalala mo ba yon? Di pa tayo magkakilala nun eh. I saw you guys playing doon sa halap nung Elizalde compound. You, Anton Bayot, the other Alabang peeps. Mga Devils pa kayo nun eh. It was the week after Boracay Open.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos, kinukwentuhan ko sa inyo kung ano yung nangyari. Parang you guys were sabing, sayang, you should have been here a week earlier, ganun. Or was it already sa field na? Sa field, no? We played each other before that na?
We played each other, nag-CSA ka, di ba? You played in CSA with Breakfast Club?
No, my first team was Bombproof. We played sa
Nag-BC ka.
No, Bombproof muna ako. I played with Bombproof.
Nag-Bombproof ka.
We played sa pa nun? Sa polo field, sa practice fields.
Practice field and polo field.
Yeah, you were still Disc Devils Alabang nun eh, diba?
Yeah, DDA pa kami nun.
Tapos may Makati with the venerable Alvin Ang. First PUA president. First PUA president
yes.
Para sa mga trivia dyan. Alvin Ang.
Ay, hindi. Mali yun.
Hindi ba siya?
Mali yun.
Hindi ba siya?
Hindi.
Sino?
Hindi.
Who?
Michael De Mesa.
No. Talaga?
Yes.
Di ba si Mike yung vice president nun?
Okay.
Mike never became president, diba?
Tanungin natin si Ryan.
Alam ko vice president si Mike, si Alvin yung first. Tapos sumunod si Trisha, if I'm not mistaken. Trisha David.
Yes.
And then
Di ba si Gio?
And then Gio. After Trisha, it was Gio. Yun na yung
Because I was on the
board with Trisha. Yes.
I was on the Trisha was our president.
Tapos after nyo, kami na Gio, sina Makoy. And then after nun was my term na. After nun. So, yun. So, anyway. Yun. So, nag-teammates kami ni Ping. So, ang first team mo was Disc Devils na talaga, no? Hindi mo na inabot yung mga Manila Vice, ganun.
Well, no, we played against, like in the beginning, it was Manila Vice, Ascals, Spin Doctors, Disc Devils.
Inabot nyo pa yon yung Spin Doctors, yung mga teams.
Naabutan ko yung Spin Doctors. That was in CSA, diba? CSA days pa yon.
Yeah.
And then when you made the transition to Manila Polo, nagkaroon ng Ascalitos, nagkaroon ng, Breakfast BC was there already, Dysfunction.
Yeah.
There were other teams that were coming about. Parang all of the teams, there were 4 teams that started playing kasi regularly. Nagkaroon ng B teams or like, kasi ang dami nang sumasali, so we had to split the players into 2 groups. So my beginner team, tapos my more advanced team. Parang that was the trend that we were going through back then. So there was an Ascals and then my Ascalitos. That's the developmental team. Manila Vice, founders nun, mostly taga-UP, diba? Tapos sila yung naging sunken pleasure. A lot of players from, tama ba yan?
Hindi ako sa details nun. Siguro kailangan natin tanongin yung matatanda na talaga. Si Wendell. si Wendell, saka si J-Lo.
Hindi, bata lang yun.
Yan.
Bata lang si J-Lo.
Sino pa ba yung mga matatanda? Si Rob Lock. Andun sila na.
Yeah, Rob would know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yan, kung may matatanda dyan sa watching right now, hit us up. Correct, ayusin nyo yung history namin. So, ayun. So, how did you get into Ultimate? Sino yung nag-invite sa'yo? Sino yung who got you into playing?
Well, again, that was the summer of 2002. I was going through a bit of a rough summer. So I just got kicked out of Ateneo. So I was a freshman in Ateneo, got kicked out freshman year. Kaka-break ko lang ng girlfriend ko. Away kami ng tatay ko. And I was driving around the village trying to escape my problems. May bahon akong gin pong. Nabutan pa din yan. May gin pong ako, umiinom ako. And then I passed by Cuenca Field and I see a bunch, the lights are on at night. So sabi, bakit on yung mga ilaw? Baka may football practice. Manunod ako. And when I got there were a bunch of people tossing a disc, tossing a frisbee around. And I saw somebody that I met during flag football because the year before I took up Ultimate, I was playing flag football in Ateneo. So I first saw the Spider Limb. And he was actually there. He was playing Ultimate with Sina Alvin, the Hughes brothers, si Christian. So, those guys. And then they invited me to play. And then that happened on a Thursday. And I started playing regular pickups. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to play a tournament in CSA. You want to join us? I was like, okay. And that was the start. That was the start of Ultimate. That was summer 2002.
Yeah. So yun. So after your stint with the Devils, your next team was nag-BC ka ba?
Ascals.
Oh yeah.
No, I played.
Part ka nga pala nung group na nag-Ascals, sina Rima, no? Sabay-sabay ba kayo?
I played as si Shiva, nandun kasama ko si Shiva.
Rima.
Si Rima na una. And then nag-separate si na Rima with Gigi, Noel,
mga ultimatum, yeah.
They naging ultimatum sila. Ako nag-Ascals ako with Wendell, J-Lo,
Mark Navarra,
Nino,
so
Mark Navarra.
Kasabay mo lumipat si Mark Navarra.
Si Mark dati Manila Vice, di ba?
SPC dati si Mark eh.
Yeah. And then I was there for a stint. And then I went back to Alabang. And then that's when we naging serious Alabang Ultimate na kami, AU na kami. And that's with sina Anton Bayot, sina Mark Navarro, those guys. The Navarro brothers. It's Kokoy and Marvin. That was our group with si John Joe.
So never kang nag-BC with us? Hindi ka sumama?
I played.
I forget. Gabi na yung memory
breakfast.
ko.
I played Breakfast Club 1 Boracay Open.
Yun,
na si Sol yung captain.
Yeah. Si Captain.
So,
si Captain.
Yeah, si Sol yung captain.
Si Captain Pass. Nag-Captain Pass ka ba? Hindi mo ginawa. I don't think so. Malupit yun, yung Captain Pass. Para doon sa mga old school na mga pinagdaanan nyo, grabe yung si Donald, si Choco D. Nagwawala si Donald noon sa bahay pa kami ni Rob Lock eh. Yung sa bakuran nila, 'di ba? Bakuran ni Rob Lock was yung main field eh.
Manila Polo.
Yung main field mismo. Yeah. So pag before ng games nung weekends, magpapatawag na ng inuman yan si Rob hanggang madaling araw. Kaya majority sa amin, the following day may hangover. Yan sina Joff, nagsusuka kami before ng game. Si Joff talaga, as in, tradition na yun. You'd see him sa mga bushes sa tabi ng field, nagsusuka. But si Donald, grabe, gumugulong. It got to a point na medyo naging napikon siya kay Sol, yung violent yung niya. Parang sinisisi niya for him getting so hammered. Pucha, awat-awat namin si Donald.
Yeah. So for those viewers, for our minor viewers, this was pre-PFDA. So this is the Philippine Ultimate Association days. Huwa days pa to. This was before Facebook, before social media. The only way of communicating before was Yahoo groups.
Yeah.
That's a long, long time ago.
Naalala ko yung Yahoo.
We've evolved. We've grown from that. Evolved from that.
Yeah. Before we move forward, shoutout lang muna tayo doon sa mga disc peeps na nanonood na. Si Gila na, online na. Ni si Choi, si Ogong, si Charles, Bossing, Denboy, si Von, Faika, Serge, Anna, Ace, Randall, Ron, Ate Rons. Ate Rons, straight from France.
Wow.
Nasaan ba si Rona? Paris?
I think she's in Paris.
Paris?
I think she's in Paris.
Hi, Rona. Raven. Hi, Raven. Alvin. Ryan. MB. Ryan Napol. Sino yung Ryan Napol?
Not familiar.
Ryan Nakpil. Ryan. Ed. Yenan. Choi. JR. Chai. Mikey. Mukhang Reggie. Dumasig. Si
DJ Toots.
Si DJ Tutay. Ayan, puro ultimate. Ito, humabol pa si Zar. Puro ultimate frisbee peeps yung laman ng thread ngayon. Si Ace Azaraga, nandito rin pala. So ayan, shoutout sa inyong lahat. Pag may questions kayo or clarifications lang, kasi medyo shady na yung history ko, medyo may edad na. Si Ping naman, si Ping bata pa pero sobrang busy, kaya medyo na rin yung memory.
Then may damage na rin yung ulo ko. Things are a bit blurry. The things that need to be blurry are blurry.
That's good. Okay yun, diba? Yeah. Nagiging selective yung natin. So anyway, so yun, indicate nyo lang dito sa chat box kung meron kayong questions. Huwag masyadong personal. Okay lang personal, pero huwag masyado. Wala masyadong incriminating.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving forward. Okay. So first time na meet natin, Boracay, we put up jeepney. Naalala mo yung mga times na yun?
Yeah.
Na medyo nagkaroon ng time na medyo hated yung jeepney, diba? Kasi parang ang dating nun, we poached the best players from the other team, so parang pinatay daw natin yung ibang teams. Ikaw, what was the main reason kung bakit ka sumama doon sa team na yon?
Well, again, like in any essence of an athlete, you always want to get better.
Yeah.
I think every athlete out there who's serious about their sport will strive to become better. So after you have several years and leagues with your team, you ask yourself, how else can they become better? Why is this team beating me? Why are they winning? And at that time there were no coaches. There were no ultimate frisbee coaches. There wasn't even YouTube videos. It was all self-taught.
Yeah.
Ultimate was brought in here early 2000s, thanks to people like Dominic Youngson, Martinez, Katie Smith, those guys. They no, but there was no teachers, there was no coach, there was no play, and then GP fell into the laps of our coach at that time, who was Dale Hutchinson. Dale Hutchinson, seasoned pro, played with one of the strongest bad boy teams, if not really a bad boy team of their era,
the mythical
Black Tide.
The mythical program, diba? Ng USC Santa Barbara.
If you like, there was always that one video that everybody wanted to watch at that time. I Bleed Black. That was like the
pinirate ni Cash.
Oh yeah, pirate like Cash pirated that copy.
Sorry, Cash.
And then we brought it to Sanctum, and then diba? Pinanood natin yun sa Sanctum with Sina Trisha. It's like, this is, he got pumped up to make a really strong, dominant team. Waters for the week, tara, game. And then and the reason, again, getting all of these players and putting them in that team, and then you have to also understand that everybody that joined that team really wanted to grow. They wanted to learn. Diba? And but that doesn't mean that everybody stayed. Like I was there, I think a year or 2 years with Jeepney, and then one of the things I liked with joining, one of the things I loved at that time with Ultimate is that you can jump from one team to another and learn things. Try to learn, because at that time you just want to learn. You want to learn. And at that, there came a point in GP that's like, you know what? I think I've learned everything that I could learn at this point. I want to give back. And so I went back to Alabang. I started playing with Alabang Ultimate again. And then it was at that time that I was serious about playing Ultimate. And then I met Gila. She fell in that lap. And, it's just the whole process of you wanted to learn.
Then nabuo yung Dirty South.
At home.
Diba, yung Dirty South? Yeah. That was when I was born. Yeah. Actually, ang thinking...
Dirty South, that's when...
Sige, tuloy.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, nung time na yun, when you nabalitaan namin you were about to get married na nga, ang consensus nun, yung ibang mga jeepney players, parang sobrang bata ni Ping, yung ganun. Ako personally, Ping, when I learned that you were about to get married at such a young age, kasi I got married, I got married and I was, ilan taon na ba ako? 40? 39? Parang ganun. But anyway, parang feeling ko you were in a hurry. Yun yung, kahit yung iba when we were talking about you behind your back, we felt like you were in a hurry. Pero years later, and you can even ask some of the monster peeps, sinabi ko sa kanila to Sabi ko, the reason why nagmamadali si Ping pala, because he wanted to get, maybe he already found the love of his life, diba? Pero he has a lot more that he wants to do. Seeing you accomplish what you have accomplished for Ultimate Frisbee makes me really, really proud of yung, I got to be a part of your journey. Naalala ko pa noon, yung letter na sinulat mo sa jeepney noon, yung you were parked sa, naalala ko yung, may mga, details lang
Wow.
Yung pinost mo sa Yahoo groups natin na letter noon. Diba? About yung parang just a boy who wants to play Ultimate Frisbee, mga stuff like that. Diba? Naalala mo yun? Naalala mo yung mga drama mo na ganon?
Emo days ko yun, bro. Yeah. Emo days ko yun. But it's I mean, like I came up with a game plan. Like, growing up, there was a plan for everything. Back then there were very few teams playing Ultimate. I think there were only like 20 teams in Metro Manila, 24 teams max. And out of those 24 teams, there are like only 5, 6 really strong teams. Yeah. And those 5 teams, like I'll just say now, with the talent pool that we have now, teams in Pool B and even C can beat those 5 top teams back then.
For sure.
With how they play now.
Yeah, for sure.
But then there was a very, very short totem pole of talent and skill. And I remember growing up, like I was 20, 21 years old at that time. I was like, I'm gonna make a list of every single player that I think is better than me, and then one by one, I'm gonna try to chop their name out of that list. So like, I put myself on and then like I made that ladder that I wanted to climb, and it's like every single game, every single tournament, I tried to review, I tried to watch them in between games. It's just a passion. It's just something that you really strive to go for and you try to do. And yeah, it was part of the plan. And again, I agree. You're right when you say that when you found the love of your life, when you find it, then there's nothing else that. Why delay it?
Yeah,
diba? Like,
true.
I was like, back then I was like, if I'm not gonna marry, like I always believed this philosophy. It's like if I'm not gonna marry the girl, then why should I be with the girl?
Yeah, true.
Like, if you're not gonna marry her, then why lead her on? Why waste her time? Why waste your time? There's a lot of fish in the sea, and it so happened that this was my fish. And it worked out for the both of us. And what's nice about it is that I found somebody that's number one, just as passionate about me, just as passionate about the sport that I am very passionate about. Yeah. Like she was also playing Ultimate at the time. She also had ambitions. It was a big eye opener for her, and she has been the biggest supporter, the biggest backer. She's the first one to stand up for me. She's the first one to boost me up. She's the first one to hold me, to ground me.
Yeah,
like when when you feel that you're like, oh, I'm the king of the world. Nope, come down here. You've got nothing. You've done nothing. You have to keep working hard. You have to keep working harder. And I'm very fortunate to have somebody like that in my life. And when you find that in a person, why are you gonna let go of that? Why are you gonna waste it? Why are you gonna dilly dally? Because it might just be taken away from you. So don't waste your time. You've got only one shot, diba? So make the most out of it.
Yeah. Good for you, pare. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I'm just lucky, man. I'm just lucky.
When did you get married, but this was 2000. When did you get married?
I got married 2008.
2008.
I was 25 years old.
Yeah, that's young. 25, di ko pa alam gagawin ko sa buhay ko nun.
There was a game plan, and somewhere along the way, the game plan got lost, and just winged it the rest of the way.
That's good for you. Tapos seeing you guys, you and Gila grow, para kayong kindred spirits nga na you were meant to be with each other. Tapos ang cute pa ng kids nyo, kaya ganda ng combination. Okay. So you left Jeepney, you went back to Alabang.
Yeah.
Okay, and then after a while you went into coaching. Diba?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, what was ano yung first team ever na kinochan mo? As in full-time na ikaw yung nagko-coach.
Full-time meaning I wasn't working anymore, or like full-time like
I mean,
I was
you were
coach?
You were the coach. Hindi lang yung ikaw. Kasi dati meron tang captain who was in charge of doing drills. Pero ikaw yung coach.
So my backstory actually yan. So that it was March 30, 2008. I was with Alabang Ultimate in Nasugbu, Batangas. We were in the house of one of our teammates, and her house was situated on a cliff, and I had a little too much to drink, and I fell from that cliff head first, hit my head on the concrete, and I was immediately rushed to the hospital, and it was life-changing. A big step down, and the doctors were saying like you can't be competitive anymore, and you might not be able to play competitively anymore because I had broken my fifth lumbar bone, sa spinal cord. And they were saying, you're lucky nga that you can walk. Kala namin you couldn't walk anymore.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, if I can't be competitive anymore, if I cannot play, I might as well teach. I want to coach the sport. I want to teach players a sport that I love. It gave me the love of my life. It made me a lot of friends. It's taken me places. I've traveled the world because of the sport. And, you know, by that time, I had spent so much time away from my family. I come from a family of 7 kids. 7 on the line. So 7 kaming magkakapatid. And I'm the oldest of the 7. And so ako yung kuya. Laging wala si kuya. Nasaan si kuya? He's in training. Nasaan si kuya? He's playing in Sunken Garden. Nasaan si kuya? Oh, he's in Singapore playing with the national team. Laging wala si kuya. And parang that life-changing event was a big eye-opener for me that said, I'm not spending enough time with my family, especially my siblings. They have no role model. They have nobody that they can back up. And so I said, I'll put 2 and 2 together. I tried to spend more time with them, and how I spent time with them was teaching them how to throw a frisbee, how to throw a disc. And yeah, this was my siblings. And then they told their barkada, and then that's when we created South Luzon Ultimate, or SLU. That was the first team that I coached full time. So we started a group. We trained 3 days a week in Cuenca, after school. A few years after that, when we were a bit more entrenched, we were able to penetrate Paref Southridge School, which is my alma mater. I was able to speak with the sports director at the time. We turned Ultimate Frisbee into a club. And that's when Admirals Ultimate came about. That was in 2010. And yeah, only 4 years ago, 2016, 2015, we were able to tap into the sister school, which is Woodrose, and that's when Woodrose Ultimate came about. So right now, yeah, I coach 2 high school teams full time, Woodrose and Southridge, and that's a program that we've developed, and that's where we are right now.
And the programs develop a lot of great players, no, for the national team. Then I heard, tama ba?
Yeah. We're very fortunate enough to have a lot of talent. Like, we have a lot of really good kids that go through the program. We've coached more than 450 students throughout since 2008. Some of them don't play anymore. Some of them, like what you said, they're part of the national team. And they're playing with some of the best teams right now in Metro Manila. And but it was more of their talent was always there, and that was something that we knew going into this program, that becoming ultimate frisbee players was not really the primary objective of why we coach kids. The number one priority was creating model citizens and building holistic virtues and morals with these kids. It got to that point now, like going back with the things I learned before I started coaching. It's like, our sport is a very wonderful sport. I love the sport, but then there are just so many things that happen that kids should not be exposed to at a very early age. I said I could not imagine an 11-year-old marking somebody that could be his dad, and that smells like alcohol. Back then we were I'll be honest, we did not have that many rules. We were very wild. We were very free. And I told myself, if I really am serious about helping the sport grow, then we have to create and make avenues and niches where these kids can learn how to play the sport, but not be exposed to the culture of Ultimate right away. And that's when we created junior tournaments like the Philippine Ultimate Little League, or PUL. After PUL, Duo, Diliman Ultimate came up with their own, which is NUCC. And recently, players like SP with the Disc Olympics, they have a juniors division. And even in the provinces, I'm not mistaken, Dumaguete has Ultimate Collegiate League, which has a collegiate and a juniors division. So it started there now. It's like we have to create specific niches for our youth to be able to excel and develop their game personally. It's like you're never gonna get a great, like, you're never gonna get a senior high school player to play against somebody from the PBA.
Yeah.
That's never gonna happen. You get what I mean? So it was a matter of time. And I said, you know what? If nobody, and at the time nobody was really doing it. Nobody had the time. Nobody was thinking that, hey, I'm busy with my job. I don't have time to do this. Okay, fine, I'll do it. I'll start it out.
Yeah.
And Paul up to now, Paul's still around, and we've developed a lot of kids, and I'm very happy for it. It's not just in the Philippines; it's regional. It's in Asia-Oceania right now.
Well, it's just a shame lang na no. You got to do what you're doing right now. Medyo late na kasi sabi ni Ogie, kundi raw dahil sa ultimate siya eh. Taong grasa dapat siya. Eh. So kung na-meet mo pala siya nung mas bata siya, mas may tingin mo ba si Ogie kung na-meet mo nung mas bata, mas may nangyari sa ultimate frisbee career niya?
No, Augie is a kindred spirit. Like he has a specific role and he does his role properly.
Di ba woodland spirit?
He's a Dennis Rodman of ultimate frisbee. He gets the job done. He can't score, but he's really good at defense.
Palagi naguhubad sa parties.
Yeah, he does that. He does that very, very well.
Tapos eto, nagtatanong nga si Ogie. Sino nga ulit yung unang crush ni Eddie sa PUA? Alam mo, sa sobrang daming crush ni Eddie the Guardian. Yun ang nickname namin kay Eddie, the Guardian. Palagi nakabantay sa mga chicks pag nalalasing. Hindi para naman molestyahin or take advantage of, para bantayan to make sure that other low lives don't take advantage of them. Kaya tawag namin sa kanya si The Guardian. Alam ko nandito si Eddie. Eddie, paki-enlighten na lang yung mga yung mga lumang tao. Puro lumang tao kasi yung nandito. Enlighten mo na lang kung sino yung first crush mo sa PUA. So yun. So you were transitioning na from your career as a coach to your career as a sports administration, diba? So yun. So after coaching, was it the plan din ba talaga to kumbaga take control of the PUA as it was known at that time, tapos promote Philippine Ultimate, hindi lang dito sa Philippines, pati yung na rin natin ngayon sa international. We're known na, especially sa Asia at saka sa internationally naman sa Beach Ultimate, we're considered an ultimate playing country na rin, 'di ba? So was it part of the plan na rin nung sinasabi mo before na yun yung long-term goal mo? Was it a long-term goal?
Well, yeah, it started in 2008. After the accident, it was a big eye opener. Like I said, if I can't be one of the top athletes in this country anymore, but I still want to help the sport grow. I can help the sport grow in a lot of different avenues. There's a lot of things that happen on the field, and that's where a lot of people are looking. But then there's a lot of things that happen outside the field, that a lot of people don't know. And even before I coached, I was already working with the PUA. I was the tournament director of the Philippine Ultimate Association during the time of Trisha David. And I was also on the board of Michelle Almanzor and Jude Lee.
Yeah.
So I was already on the board. I was already on board trying to help the sport grow. And then after that, that's when I ran president. I became president after the board of Jude. And I stayed around for 2 years. But it was part of us. Like, I want to help the sport grow and maximize as much as possible. It's like, kasi, how you see something and it's parang you feel that baka pwede ganito. It could be this way. It could be done this way. I think it'll be better this way. And by that time, a lot of people would just make a comment or say things, but then nobody was actually doing anything. Those kind of people. Na puro salita, walang gawa. And I was like, I'll take a gamble. I was like, I might as well try doing something because nobody else is trying to do it. And those are the risks, those are the gambles. And at that time, it was very taboo. It was a lot of red tape, a lot a lot of issues that came about because this guy is not supposed to be doing that, but he's doing it. So, but then it's part of the learning process. It's part of the development of that. That was really part of the plan. In anything that you wanted to go, I didn't want to just talk a big game. I wanted to play a big game.
Yeah,
I wanted to say, hey, we're going to do it.
And you've proven naman that you did talk a bit, you did, ano ba term doon? You proved your point.
You walk the walk.
You walk the walk.
You walk the walk.
You walk the walk. Nagawa mo yung everything na gusto mong gawin for Ultimate. Naalala ko yung time na yun eh. Everybody was talking about politics in sports, politics. Kasi ako, ano ba, I was involved in Ultimate since 2004, having served as a president din in 2008.
Yeah.
Medyo konting yabang na rin. First Philippine team was under my term na rin, 'di ba? Yung AOUC sa Kaohsiung.
Yes.
Tapos for the past 2 years, I had ilang years na ba? Talagang no connection sa Ultimate. Hindi ko nakilala yung players. Hindi ko na alam yung may bago bang style of playing, yung gano'n. Lahat na lang ng news na I get from Ultimate is from feeds ng friends sa Facebook. Unlike before, talagang you study, diba? You even get in touch with the coaches from abroad, try to bring them here para yung may transfer of technology tayo. Basta there was a time na parang I got so disillusioned with Ultimate. Not because of the sport, because the sports, in my opinion, is the most beautiful sport ever.
Yeah.
But I agreed with this article that somebody wrote from the US. Maganda raw yung Ultimate, but it's being ruined by the people who are playing it. Not just here in the Philippines, ha? Kahit doon sa US, may mga issues yung mga reckless endangerment, yung mga ganon, too much debate on yung mga ganito.
But you see that in all sports, like even in big sport, basketball, football, we were very barbaric, for lack of a better term. We were very hard-nosed, free-flowing. But like those sports, we grew and we developed and we educated ourselves. Yeah. We found a way to learn. Like right after I started coaching 2008, and then I said just because I played Ultimate doesn't mean I'm certified to play. So luckily enough, by then one of the cornerstones of Philippine Ultimate, Mr. Jason J-Lo Lopez, was already living in Singapore. And there was this Ultimate Frisbee coach from the United States that was going to fly to Singapore to give a coaching certification program under USAU. His name is Greg Connolly, or Scoops. And, he was flying there. He was going to give a program, but there was only a limited number of slots that can join. So I think there was only 15 coaches were allowed to join the seminar. And he called me up one day and he's like, you want to take my slot? I see that you're coaching these kids. Baka you need it more than me. I think you'll need it more than me. And, that was the start of it. And I even remember I landed in Singapore. I went to his flat. He gave me a sofa. I slept on his sofa. And then I went to the classes. And, I was the first certified coach for Ultimate. Yeah. I was a level 2 coach for Ultimate Frisbee in USAU. That was in 2011. And, it started there. And the next time that we tried to do that, it's like, maybe I can help other coaches in the country get that certification. And so when I was on the board, we brought in what's his name? Kenny Smith. But he's gonna kill me. we brought in a coach moderator from WIFDIP that came from London. And we were able to do another certification program for other sports and other teams. And even at that point, I was like, what? There are a lot of things I also wanted to do. It's like 2015 when we had in 2016 we had that Congress in London where the biggest problem that Asia teams were encountering was that men were not passing to the women. that was a big issue back in 2016 that men did not pass to women.
True. Yeah.
And that was not just happening in the Philippines. That was happening in
All
every
over,
single
yeah.
country: Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia. So what was the solution we came up with? Was created seasons. We created a single gender season, and we created a mixed gender season. That way, we gave an avenue for women to step up their game and develop their game. And we focused on that. We started developing and growing that. And then the next issue that we encountered was locally was people did not know the rules. We have a lot of athletes out there, but their knowledge of the game, their practice of spirit, even how to score the spirit score sheet was not done properly, or did not. It wasn't. It was lacking, especially when we got to a world scene.
But they knew how to argue, eh. No? Yun yung problem, eh. They didn't know the rules, but they knew how to argue.
Yeah, everybody has, again, like that. There are two sides to every disc. There's always an angle.
Yeah.
There's always different ways. But then so I was like, okay, how can we fix this? And I looked at this. I was going through WIFDIF and I saw this game advisor certification program. And I said, hey, maybe we can try to bring game advisors into the Philippines. So I took the course. I studied becoming a game advisor. Luckily, the Philippines hosted a WIFDIF event, which is the Asia-Oceania Ultimate and Guts Club Championships in 2017.
Yeah.
And I was able to become a game advisor in the event. So I learned. And then I was able to practice again in Shanghai in the next AUGC. And then we were able to bring it in here and create game advisors in the Philippines. So that's a step that we want to help it, because, and that was another reason why we wanted to bring in game advisors, was going back with our junior team, with our younger players, is because not all kids can answer and solve problems within 45 seconds.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, you only have 45 seconds to resolve an issue on the field. And the game advisor is not there to be a referee. They don't blow a whistle and tell you what to do. They're just there to help speed up the process and help you guys understand. And they're only there for reference. Like, if you want a third unbiased party to give you an answer, you can ask the GA, but then they're not there. They're not the law. You still have to agree on something. For
you, Ping, what's the true meaning of spirit of the game? Being a game advisor, diba? So kailangan familiar tayo kung ano yung spirit of the game. So having played Ultimate, coached, managed teams, for you, yung personal mo, not yung spirit of the game na nakalagay sa rules or something. What's your personal opinion?
Wow, that's a
definition.
That's a deep question. But I go back with the golden rule in life. With this spirit, like, do unto others what you want others to do unto you. Like, you don't want, like, if you want to be treated as such, then you have to act as such. Never try to win underway. Like, always don't. Winning should not be the number one goal of any player out there, to win at all costs. You do it the right way. Winning is not everything. The reputation that you leave at some people sometimes. Again, that's just mine. I mean, other sports, they're very gung-ho about these things. But, one of the things I love about Ultimate is not really the competition, but rather than the community. We've got one of the best communities, one of the best groups in the country that are always there for you when you need them. Like and that they tap into every single industry now. And there are rivalries, there is some tension, but then at the end of the day, everybody's friends. Like, you can have decent conversations with people, you can ask for help, they can help you. And you want to have fun, but then at the same time, it's no fun if you're blatantly doing things to win.
Dati kasi there's this misconception, the spirit of the game is yung mga cartwheels on the field, high fives, wearing crazy costumes, playing.
Yeah.
Pero
I mean, it's
pero
it's not. Yeah.
Tapos, tapos walang arguments dapat pagdating sa palaging back to thrower. Ako, ang opinion ko ron, it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to
Mm.
be, we can argue, but the mutual respect should never, alam mo yun, hindi dapat mawala yung mutual respect between players.
Yeah.
Diba? Parang we're arguing, pero it's because, may honest to goodness ako, na call, na hindi tugma
Yeah.
sa'yo. Kasi when two people uh, go for something all out, I'm not saying literally may two teams who are playing to win, there's bound to be conflicts and arguments, 'di ba? Ang important is
Yeah.
yung
Yeah.
mutual respect hindi mawawala between players. Wala nung insinuations na nandadaya tong isa just because alam mo yung ganon. Yun yung issue ko lang dito sa lower levels of Ultimate. Sa highest level walang problema. Respectful yung mga tao, disputes are resolved quickly and amicably, 'di ba? Yung ganun. Pero sa lower levels, that's where we need to police it.
Well, again, it's again case to case basis. Now, it's not really a lack of knowledge, or rather their inability to learn. It's just we don't have enough. We're not working on spending enough time to educate people on how the game should be properly played. I mean, there is a philosophy behind Ultimate, just like in any sport. And it goes deeper than learning how to throw a forehand or doing a force. It's a lot deeper than that. And the problem is we don't have people out there that are willing or have the time or are working at it. We can learn how to develop the sport a lot faster if we had more coaches out there that would literally just spend their time coaching. We have a few right now that they've dropped their careers and they do this and they focus on just coaching full time. And my hats off to those people. I'm one of a very few lucky guys that really spend time to just coach these kids. But we really need more.
Actually, yan yung isa sa mga objective ko when I first assumed office. Gusto ang pinaka-objective ko nun was for Ultimate Frisbee coaches to be able to earn a living. Although at that time, ang daming nagfa-frown upon yon, yung making a living off of Ultimate. Naalala mo yun? And it's one of the reasons why you receive so much flack before then, di ba, Ping? Kung tama ako. I have no problem with that. Basketball coaches do it. Football coaches do it. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, again, it was like at that time that Ultimate was a kindred spirit. Ultimate was, you don't make money off of this. It's too pure. Like it's too fun. It's like that. But then my mindset was like, if nobody makes money out of this, then why are clothing manufacturers making money? Why is the venue making money?
Yeah, everyone's
making money, and it's not as if it's like you're not gonna be. I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna become a millionaire. You're not gonna become a multi-millionaire because of because of this job.
Yeah,
You're gonna. It's a lot of hard work, and sometimes it's very thankless. We imagine running one of the biggest tournaments in the world with more than 60 teams and more than 1,000 players for 3 days. The prep time for that takes at least 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Because you have to do the invites, the follow-ups, the creations of the kits, the designing, the logo, and then you're doing all of that, and then you're diving into the event itself. You have to deal with players, you have to deal with infractions, with registration fees, late registration fees. You have to deal with drunk people on the field that are not picking up their trash. The people vomiting on the sidewalk to clean up their mess because you have to make sure that the venue doesn't kick you out. And then at the same time, you have to play 6 games. And you're playing 6 games. And then you
Do you still play?
By the end,
do you still play?
Of course.
I mean, when you're organizing tournaments, do you still play?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Ako, sakit. Bagay, I used to do that, pero sakit ng ulo.
That's the reason why we do this. It's the reason why we play. I mean, that's the reason why I'm doing it. I love playing Ultimate.
Have I ever told you this story about my meeting with Henry Ataide of Nike before during my term?
I remember that they were willing to sponsor.
No, they wanted to buy the league.
Yeah, but then you had to use their discs.
No, wala.
Was that you? Oh no,
wala naman disc ang
no,
Nike. They wanted
no,
to
that
buy.
was Adidas. That was Adidas. I remember that.
Pero crappy yung disc nila. Sorry pero di ba? Ang nipis eh. Manipis yung disc ng Adidas. Pero Nike wanted to buy during my term. Nike kaya lang I couldn't say yes. Because I know yung mga purists sa community would have raised hell. Kasi yung nagka-logo yung disc during yung Cali na Beach Ultimate sa Boracay. Ang daming nagalit noon ng mga oldies eh. Para daw na binenta yung sport, yung gano'n, parang binastos. So I had to say no. Pero now, would you be willing to for a sponsor like that to come in ng malaki? Pero they would control everything. Would you be willing to let them in?
It depends on what you mean by control.
Sagot nila lahat kasi everything.
Like we've gotten some really. I've heard stories of some of the craziest offerings. So like, I remember the first Manila Spirits was sponsored by Adidas. If you remember the first Manila Spirits back in 2004 or 3. I think it was 2004.
2004
Manila
was the first
Polo Club.
That was my first ever tournament.
That was 16 teams. Manila Polo Club. And our jersey, the singlet, the souvenir jersey was from Adidas. Adidas was going to give us cash. They were going to give us cash money. And I heard this from Rob because he was one of the organizers. He's like, they were going to give cash, but then we had to use their disc. We had to use an Adidas disc. And we're like, that is the only thing. We'll use Adidas cleats. We'll use Adidas shorts and socks. But you cannot change the disc. Back then, discraft lang ang gamit ng tao. Everything else was.
And you can see the difference there, diba? You can see the difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not you can feel the difference.
Yeah, you can feel the difference.
The grip is completely different. Like an Adidas disc back then was very similar to a Daredevil disc. If you've ever held one of those. Daredevil was a brand from Canada.
Yeah, not even. Mas okay pa yung Daredevil. Adidas was really thin.
Yeah.
It was really thin.
Yeah. So yeah, they turned that down. Then what was worse than that was there was somebody that was going to give a big chunk of money.
Yeah.
But then but players had to play in grass, wearing cleats, but in bikinis and trunks. I remember that story also. I'm not gonna say what brand, but that was also like, no, we're not gonna do that. That's ridiculous. So we've gotten a lot of offers from a lot of brands that wanted to own it, but then that's what I mean by control. I mean, they're like, we are willing to give you guys max value, but we're not gonna change who we are for you. I mean, we grew this sport tremendously without any real direct marketing. We've direct marketing to anybody. We've done it through a lot of other avenues. But again, like big shout out to Derek Ramsey. I mean, when Derek started playing Ultimate, everybody knew what Ultimate Frisbee is.
Yeah.
Like it was a big it was Derek that helped us penetrate through that wall.
Yung mainstream.
And then all of a sudden we saw frisbees in billboards, we saw frisbees in commercials, and it's not even Derek on the screen. It was somebody else. So it started off there, and then we just our popularity and our sport just grew after that. But even now, people are doing their own thing, and it goes back to what I said earlier. Is just the community. It's networking. It's the people that play the sport, different walks of life, different backgrounds, different social classes. In every single major city in the Philippines, somebody's playing Ultimate, and that says a lot.
Unlike before, no? If a friend of yours finds out you're playing Ultimate, sabihin niya, oh, you know this ganto, you know si ganto. People knew each other. Ngayon, wala na. Sobrang laki na ng community. Hindi mo na kilala yung kung sino yung naglalaro.
I'll be honest right now. There are days that I'm running a tournament or in the field, and then somebody will come up to me, know me by name, talk to me, and I'm looking at this person. I'm having a conversation with them, and I'll be saying, "Who are you?" There's just so many people right now. I was like, "Sino na nga to?" And then I have to look through my. Okay, remember. But it's like there's just so many people now that are playing Ultimate, and that's great. I mean, I'm happy that we have that many people playing. Definitely more than the 72 people that were playing in CSA way back when. So it's great. I'm glad that our sport has grown so fast.
Oh, galing. So anyway, for those who are just joining us, we're with Ping Bautista, one of the pillars of Philippine Ultimate. So yun. So if you have walang question, puro kalokohan lang yung ginagawa ng mga nina Ogie, sina Jan Basa. Puro kalokohan lang ang pinopost wala masyadong questions Pero shout out si Jack Ang is watching, Jacqueline. Si Jackie, hi.
Wow.
Hi daw.
Yeah.
Chris,
Hi,
Ken V, Justin, Perkin, hi Perkin, Alvin. Si Dino, tournament director din dati ng Puwayan, 'di ba? Isa sa mga pinakamasisipag na naging tournament directors yan. Sino mas masipag?
Dino was part...
Sige.
Go.
Sige. Sino mas masipag? Si Dino o si Makoy? Gumagawa pa tayo intriga. Gumagawa pa tayo na intriga. Ako kay Makoy ako.
I can answer that question because you're talking about two of the biggest, literally the biggest people on the field. I remember there was a tournament. There was a time that we did not have a venue, we did not have a field, and Dino was one of the people that pushed for split venues, same league, different venues. So we had tournaments in UMAC and in ASCOM at the same time, and he was running that tournament. He was a tournament director. He'd be in UMAC officiating league games. Then he'd drive all the way to ASCOM, make sure they're doing well. Then he'd go back and forth. So he's a workhorse. He also,
grabe si Dino.
Even there was a qualifier for Manila Spirits. We had a southern leg and with a northern leg. There was one in Diliman, in Sunken Garden. There was one in DF, the Aguirre Fields at that time. So, and Dino works hard too. He was also he was the first commissioner of the MMUC.
Yeah.
Or the Metro Manila Ultimate Commission.
Ano yun? 1986 yata yun, ano?
Oo.
So, punta naman.
But then Makoy. Yeah.
So, yun.
Makoy naman, he's that guy works double time for everything.
Si Makoy yung pinaka high profile na tournament director.
Oh yeah. Very grounded though. Like literally nobody can pull a fast one, and he's very grounded. I got to work with him on the board. I also got to play with him. He played the league a season with the Alabang Ultimate. So really colorful.
Sa si Makoy sobrang talino niyan ha. He just likes goofing around pero sobrang talino niyan tao.
Oh, yeah.
So yun, anyway, let's go to your so shout out sa lahat ng nanonood, diba? Okay. So let's go to your role as the chairman for Ultimate for the Asia-Oceania Ultimate Federation ba? Tama ba ako?
Yeah. So
what does that entail?
The AOFDF. So that basically entails the growth and the development of Ultimate Frisbee in the region, which is Asia-Oceania. We were formerly called the AFDF, which is the Asian Flying Disc Federation. However, we left out the Oceania countries, that namely Guam, New Zealand, and Australia, which are a big chunk of our region. So last year, we were able to draft and change the name to Asia-Oceania Flying Disc Federation. So now the AOFDF.
Yeah.
We've been around since 2008, actually.
Okay.
And
Plus you're also the auditor, diba? Auditor and
advisor. Yeah.
So do you
Well,
get paid do you get paid for that?
uh, I'll be honest right now, there
uh,
is no salary. There is no fixed salary in
uh,
this. It's a work in progress. Like everything that I did, I made my job. I created my job. But
so yan ha,
this
yung sa
is
mga
this.
nagkakalat ng chismis, walang bayad yung ginagawa ni Ping.
You do. There are allowances. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I am the first person to promote that nothing is for free. Nothing in this world is free. You work hard, you get compensated properly.
Which is good.
I hated the concept of volunteer work, and imagine a marshal. Back then, I don't know, like, naubutan mo yan kasi panahon mo yan. And panahon, like, you had
Yeah.
marshals that would come at 6 in the morning, spend the entire day taking stats, filling water containers, filling ice, picking up garbage, reporting scores, and then doing that the entire year. And the only thing they got was a jersey. How can you inspire somebody to work properly like that? That's ridiculous. Like, okay, you can enter the party for free. Hindi rin. I mean, it's not. Times have changed. It's like so hard to even get to the fields.
Yeah. I mean, on the reg
Like,
fee.
like
Reg fee.
yeah, free reg. But then back then, reg fee up to now, reg fee is more or less 500, 600 pesos. It's in the same ballpark figure. But that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work that comes in. Like, again, you get the job, and you just change the sport, change the equipment, and you'd automatically say, "Oh, the people that ran this tournament are paid." Football, basketball, tennis, bowling, any sport, track and field, binabayaran yung mga yon. Walang libre.
Actually, yung
dito.
guest ko sa Monday, si Coach Coach Allen Ricardo. He was an assistant coach. Well, he's still an assistant coach with UST juniors, the UST juniors team. He's making a good living not just for himself, pero dun sa mga statisticians, referees, videographers for this league that he runs. It's the Got Skills. Meron siyang Got Skills intercity, meron siyang inter-college, inter-school, meron siyang inter-club, and it's year-round. It's year-round.
We actually do the same here. Yeah, we do the same here with JMJ, where we try to, this you have to understand that this ultimate is still technically a recreational sport. It's not a professional sport. People don't do this as a profession, so we do it for fun, and we try to create and generate avenues where you work to have fun. So, like, all of our marshals, we pay them. We pay them a fixed register. We pay them a fixed salary. We take care of their food. We give them a transport allowance. They stay in our house. They sleep here. We give them breakfast. We take care of them, because how can you expect somebody to do a good job if they have to worry about what they're gonna eat or how they're gonna go home, or worry about small things like that. So we take care of our staff. That even goes with the coaching. So, like, going back with my coaching, I coach 2 teams full time, and I said that I have my hands full. I've got a lot of kids that are working right now. I need help, and I have 2 coaches right now. I have 2 kids from the province that unfortunately were not able to finish school. They did not finish college. They do not have a college degree. They finished high school, but they didn't finish college because of things. And I told them, at least this way you can make a living out of something you're good at and you love doing. So again, shout out to my coaches, Kenjun Villanueva and to Mariano Fernar. These guys work their butts off. They work so hard. And I'm trying to help them survive and make a living here out of the sport. And it's not just me. And I try to pass that on to the other people that they're looking for something. And I teach them. I teach them how to do things and what they should look for in players, how to develop and shape and mold our youth. But at the same time, I'm also learning how their style of the game, their methods, and their tactics, and I'm very happy with their performance. Kenjun's actually, one of the best players in the Philippines right now, and I'm very very lucky and fortunate to have him to be coaching with him.
That's kudos. Yes. Good job, Ping. That's kudos to you for doing that. Iba yung feeling when you get to when you get to help these kids get to a certain level sa buhay nila. Forever forever kang maging part ng journey nila. That's a good thing to have. So yun. So progress naman tayo sa ibang aspect naman of sports administration. Are we PAFDA na tayo, 'di ba? From PUA iniba natin, ginawa nating Philippine Flying Disc Association, 'di ba? Tama?
Yeah. Yes.
What's our standing now with the POC, the PSC? Are we accredited na as a non-Olympic sport or?
So no, first off, we are considered as a sport by the IOC, the International Olympic Committee. We were rectified as an official sport in 2015 in Malaysia when they had their congress there. So we are considered a sport. The only problem that we're encountering right now in the Olympics is finding a host country that is willing to have as an entry sport. So a lot of people in WIFDF have been trying to push us into the Olympics for the longest time. So we had a shot at Japan, we lost. Japan, we had a shot in France, we lost. So now what we're eyeing is the 2028 Olympics. If everything still follows suit, if we follow the Olympic trend, even in this COVID pandemic, the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, where USAU is, they're hosting and they're trying to push ultimate. I know we're in the top 3 sports that are being considered. Other sports, I think, is American football and baseball. So I'm really hoping that we win that shot, we win that slot, and that would be a big eye opener for us. With regard to locally, with the PSC and the establishment here, it's a lot trickier. It's a lot harder. There hasn't really been that much traction with us right now with moving forward, and the biggest problem we encounter, because I remember when we hosted the SEA Games last year, my board was trying to push that we become the exhibition sport in the SEA Games. We can we enter the SEA Games? We made a video, we made a presentation, we talked to a couple of people. It's just there again. It's something that I thought I would never have to encounter in Ultimate, but it's there. It's really the politics, and it's about who you know and what they have influence in, and what is their push to be able to help make the people that make that decision. It's really difficult.
Can you go into specifics? The problem was with the PSC, or?
Well, no. I had just stepped down from being president of the PFDA when they were full swing with trying to get us into the SEA Games. But it's again, you have to understand that there are a lot of people. We're not the only sport that is trying to enter the SEA Games. There are a lot of other sports, and those organizers or their association has leads and has connections and has right people in these areas, and our community has a lot of people in the right places, but then we don't have that following. We don't have that same following. We don't have that same strength and same push, because again, I lean that towards what? Lack of exposure, lack of knowledge. Like one of the biggest eye openers for last year's SEA Games was, in my opinion, obstacle course relay and esports, which we won gold. Who happens to be a frisbee player? Popoy, congratulations again for winning on gold. Popoy. So but even the organizer of that is a frisbee player. So it's like my point here is that people knew what obstacle course relay was. all the more so esports. Everybody knew what esports was. Why? Because it was seen. It was seen all over social media. It was seen on cable television. Electronic sports would pack stadiums all over the world. So obviously, the organizers of these things say, "Hey, this has a huge following. There's potential revenue from this. Let's tap into that." And then here comes Ultimate Frisbee. What's that? Who plays that? Okay, I know Derek does, but then what's that? Ask yourself this question. Have you ever seen Ultimate Frisbee on cable television?
Yeah.
Never. You never see it. We saw it on TV5 for Manila Spirits. We had like a small stint, but that was it. We've never seen like a highlight reel. We've never seen, but then you see shows like American Ninja Warrior. You have all these streamers on Facebook.
But are we talking about Ultimate Frisbee here in the Philippines lang or in the US? Kasi sa US, Ultimate Frisbee plays, they make it sa ESPN.
Oh, no.
They make it sa ESPN na, diba?
No, without a shadow of a doubt, I agree with you there. But again, we're talking about the SEA Games. We're talking about Southeast Asia. There is no Ultimate in any country televised in Asia. None.
Is that
like consistently, regularly? No, there is no network that has invested.
So itong lack of exposure na to, did they literally tell you that yung mga PSC or POC officials?
Again,
or was this lang insinuated from sa naging action nila?
No, again, like I said earlier, I was not the person handling the account. I was no longer part of the PFA when that was happening, so I really don't know. But then, by looking at it and addressing it, I was like, okay, it's not because they didn't want us to excel, or they had any beef with us, or we had any problems. It's just that these other things were more mainstream than us. And short of saying that people knew these other things more than us. It's not na kulang tayo dito, hindi tayo. No, it's just mas kilala sila. For them, again, it was their pick. And that's something that I look at it now and I say, okay, maybe that's just the thing that we were looking at. Maybe that was something that we were encountering. But again, it's not. Could we done a better job? Can we? Definitely. But then we go back to when could we have done it? When could we have started?
Alam mo, Ping, it's during my term, I wanted us to be accredited by the POC and the PSC. And we had already initiated talks with the PSC then and the POC. And the only roadblock there then was yung number one, game officials.
Yeah.
We had two choices nga pala. We could either be accredited as a non-Olympic sport and an Olympic sport. So definitely, hindi pa tayo Olympic sport. So non-Olympic yung habol natin. Yung roadblock then was game officials, as in game officials, which we had none at that time. Pangalawa, kailangan represented at least, there was a certain number of regions. Parang 9 or 10 yata. And at that time, this was 2008 or 9. We only had parang 7. Parang ganun. So I was parang 2 or 3 short. Kaya I couldn't push through. Pero yun lang yung issue at that time.
Yeah.
So
going back, if those were your issues then it's probably the same problem we're encountering now. Pero, we just had we started only having game advisors last year.
Yeah.
So that there's no traction, there's no growth, there's no stability. It's not stable.
Itong issue na to, itong topic, hindi mga issue, this topic would make for a good topic for the next episode, no? Siguro we should sino ba ang PAFDA president ngayon? Sino ba? Sino ang president?
Karen.
Si Karen.
Karen Caprera.
Si Karen ba yung president ngayon? Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe siguro kontakin ko si Karen, maybe we can invite her to guest. We can talk about this kasi ang dami ring dito Because now we're like an hour and 20 minutes into the conversation Pero if we talk about this some more, aabutin tayo ng mga more than 2 hours, I'm sure. diba?
Yeah.
So maybe we can reschedule this talk. I'd like to invite you
Yeah.
again with Karen and kung sino man pwedeng
Yeah.
makapag-contribute na resource persons. We can
Yeah.
talk about this na para kahit papaano yung sa talks natin, we could pool our information together, then we can finally get the ball rolling para maano na finally yung kasi don't get me wrong,
Again,
pero in
yeah.
terms of exposure, fencing, then you have yung obstacle, 'di ba? You have beach handball, yung ganon. Mas nauna pa tayong mag-ano diyan eh, 'di ba? Mas nauna pa tayong yung ultimate
Yeah.
mag-organize eh.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But you also have to understand, that all the sports that you're talking about that paved the way, number one, have huge backing and huge support from other countries. It's not just the Philippines, but a lot of Asian countries don't really have. Ultimate is still, like, even if Ultimate's been around for a while, we're still the new kid on the block. Nobody really knows who we are. It's one of the greatest sports in the world, but if you're not watching the highlights, it can get it. You have to ask yourself, like, and this is on the marketing and media value aspect, is can you make somebody sit down and watch a 90-minute game if they didn't know what the sport was about? Again, you have to ask yourself these questions. It's not again, but then you've got somebody that's, it's what's more engaging to the audience, and that's a marketing issue, right? That's a marketing thing anymore. It's no longer we've been around longer than these guys. We have all our stuff ready. We've got talent. No, we don't, but they do also. But then, as an organizer, you have to ask yourself, what can put people on their seats? Who will pay to watch the sport? Most of the people that watch our sport right now, unfortunately, are the players themselves. But if you were to get like you give a ticket to a guy on the side street, manood ka ng frisbee, ang ultimate frisbee, will they watch? And other sports have tried to tap into the masses. Like, Philippine rugby's done it, football has done it. They've done tremendous growth as well. But we're still in the process of developing, educating ourselves first. I think we have to figure out what we want to work on more.
Alam mo, what we need talaga is a high-profile politician to work to champion our cause. That's what if you notice the other sporting associations, that's what they do. Yung mga they get politicians to sit on their board or head their associations para mas make clout. I'm not saying we do that, pero that's what they do. Diba?
Yeah.
So swerte natin kung magkaroon tayo ng ultimate frisbee player na who's into politics.
We actually do.
Sino?
We do.
Who?
We actually have two.
Are they national level politicians or
they're national. They were national team players, but they're not national. They're from this little island called Boracay.
Si Datu, diba? Si Datu's a board member.
Yeah, Junter's Kagawad. So, but that's it. I think it's like you have to. It's all of these small things. Like, I agree with you. Like, you just need another influencer. We need a small push.
It's about damn time na makapaglaro na tayo sa ano.
But that's the problem also that you encounter. No? Like with the big multinational companies with the big money that want to come in, are you willing to give full control to them? Because nobody's going to give you money and you're not going to control. They can't control it. There's no way. There's no way. We have to ask ourselves as a sport and as a community, are we willing to let go and give control to somebody else who might not know what Ultimate is about? And I think that's what scares a lot of people. Again, that's just my opinion.
Dami. Pero at least hindi na tayo ganun ka-fragmented. We can realistically work together para kasi dati sobrang fragmented ng community, 'di ba? I'm sure you'll agree. So I think now it's time to akala ko talaga na we were getting a lot of headway into getting accredited pero to find out na meron pa palang issues na gano'n. Ako, I'd like to put forth yung ano ko. I'd like to volunteer to help out. Diba? Although I'm not that
That's great,
although I'm not that active anymore sa sport, diba, sa Ultimate, kahit nga yung coaching duties ko sa Meralco, sa MVPO, iniwan ko na yun na lang yung ano ko sa sa coaching Ultimate Pinaubaya ko na kay Coach Roy Tanlapis who was doing an admirable job, kaya lang di natuloy yung MVPO for this year because of this.
MVP.
Diba? So, pero I'd like to help out. So, walang no strings attached. I'd like to help out. If sina Karen, you guys need any help in finally for us to be able to kahit ako yung contacts, yung resources, I'd be more than willing to help. So, ayun. So, ayun.
It's again, it's all you all, and again for the record, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. And like the above mentioned, with myself, Karen, all the board members, all former presidents, all directors and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about. That this is not an easy job.
Yeah, it's definitely
one of the. It's a very, very difficult job, and that's why a lot of people don't run for board. Nobody wants to job. Nobody thinks that they can do it.
It's a thankless job.
Yeah, it's a thankless job, but somebody's got to do it, and there is a situation like we encounter problems. That damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yes.
And why do you do it? Why are you there? Why the love of the game?
Kulto yan
the love of the game.
Yun yung sinasabi pa ng mga tao dati. Ultimate Frisbee daw is a cult. So anyway.
But then it's.
So medyo overtime na tayo. Pero last question, Ping. Okay, this is from Randall.
Sure.
This is from Randall, national team player. Naglalaro pa ba si Randall?
National team player, national team coach. Coach yan ng
full-time father. Okay. So from Randall, ano raw yung chances of having a professional league in the Philippines for Ultimate Frisbee?
Wait for it.
So mukhang may pinaplano na si Ping, Randall.
Wait for it.
Are they really gonna get paid?
Wait for it.
Hintayin mo na lang daw.
The team spirit Spartans from Tandansora. Yung coach nila si Francisco.
Ayoko na.
No, but we have a lot of projects like they're part of my position in AUFDF is trying to help grow the sport and how to develop the sport. And it gets to that point that you want to ask if we can make this into a profession. We can put seats in. We're trying right now. We're studying and looking at options so we can do it. Making free registration fee for players to join and just play. And hopefully, little by little, if we can get sponsors for teams and they pay, that it's in the pot. It's in the melting pot right now.
Yeah.
Of what we are thinking of trying to do. And when I say we, I mean JMJ. That's one of the steps we want to go through. But because of this coronavirus, and it looks like it's gonna be like this for a while,
December pa yata, diba?
We're not.
December.
Sorry?
December pa yata.
If we're lucky, we don't know. It could be November. It could be December next year. We don't know. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we're stopping and we're not looking at other other disc practices. So it's Flying Disc Federation, meaning that there's more to a disc than just Ultimate. I recently posted a video of overall, and that's another disc practice that I think is very interesting. It's also something that I know we can develop in our country, and we can have national players represent our country in big events in WIFDF, and also in AOFDF. So, and there's so many ways of looking at the sport. I mean, and it's all throwing and catching. It just be patient. Something's happening. We're working on it. But you gotta give us time, because again, it's not that easy. It's definitely not that easy.
But si Randall is not getting any younger.
Bigyan namin siya ng patron seats sa lower box B.
Tumatanda na.
Para yung anak niya, mapapanood niya yung anak niya naglalaro as a professional adversary player.
Basta for the kids who are playing right now, sobrang swerte nyo. Kasi you get to play habang bata pa kayo. Like me, I only played when I was already 30 years old. So medyo, I had only one good year of playing Ultimate na sobrang fit pa. After that, it was all downhill from there. Every time I tried to run fast, pulled hamstring. So, so you guys are lucky that you have Ping at the helm, or one of the leaders of the sport, trying to push our Philippine Ultimate to greater heights. So yun. So with that, along with the kids, we'd like to say thank you to you, Ping, for gracing our show for tonight. It should have been more long. We should have had more time. Kaya lang medyo we're running at an hour and a half na, so medyo matagal na. So maybe siguro kung okay lang sa'yo, I'd like to invite you again for another down the road. I'd like to have you and and siguro we'll invite Karen para sa mas magandang discussion. And kung sino man who'd like to join in on the discussion on paano dadalhin yung Ultimate sa Philippines sa Olympic level. So start tayo SEA Games, then eventually punta lang tayo, discuss lang ano yung mga inputs natin on ano yung mga probable causes kung bakit we have failed in the past na ma-include ang Philippine Ultimate sa international competitions, ng mga SEA Games and stuff. At ano yung mga pwede pa natin gawin or personal contributions natin. Okay sa'yo yun, Ping?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
All right. So with that, we'd like to bring this episode to an end. We'd like to ask everyone to first say thank you to our special guest tonight, Ping Bautista of JMJ Sports Services. Please, kung hindi nyo pa nalalike and follow yung Facebook page namin, please do so. And by tomorrow, I'll have this episode up and running sa YouTube channel namin, which I'll provide a link then. And please subscribe, like, and share na rin. Tapos for the Ultimate Sportsnet Experience, please follow na rin our other social media accounts. Instagram, it's at SportsNetPH, and our Twitter account, SportsNetPH1. All right. So with that, again, thank you, Ping, and see you down the road. Okay.
Yeah, man. Thanks. See you on the fields, man. Take care.
Hopefully. Thanks, man. So everyone, thank you for joining us. Peace.
Bye.